Hey,
You know,
hey
say
man,
just comment.
subscribe. We got some great stuff coming up for y'all, man.
Great topics
I
today.
mean, hey, subscribe, man. Y'all gonna miss out on some amazing content. Man. We got
What's
some
up,
good
Vince and C? So the
stuff.
topics that we got for tonight, you know what I'm saying? Like it was inspired from last week. Kamala Harris, we're gonna pick apart some of the facts and the misinformation that's been going on here. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about, you know, one of the things as far as us, even as a people, we have to take a hard look. Are some black people prejudiced against mixed people? Or against people who are mixed race or biracial? Is there a prejudice there? Another thing we're going to talk about too is the Sonia Massey killing, the cop. He came out and essentially said that he feared for his life. And we're going to watch that video again. We're going to see if there's any type of fear. I'm not going to show the actual shooting, but we're going to show the events that lead up to the shooting. And we're going to see who is actually scared of who. You know what I'm saying? So, so yeah, Cheryl, anybody who has anything to say, especially in regards to Kamala, we're going to talk about it. But, you know, the thing that I'm disappointed in, you know, and it seemed like, you know, and Jess brought up a good point. You know, we've talked about Trump on this very platform a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? And the one time we talk about Kamala and is she really black, it seems like that's when the droves came out and a lot of disrespect and a lot of things were being said about a woman, especially a woman of color. And it came from not just, you know, the outside, it came from us. So, you know what I'm saying? And some of you guys have forced me to actually go do some research because some of y'all were actually talking some big shit and actually making it seem as if they were facts. So it forced me to go actually dig and research. And I have to say, some of y'all was just regurgitating some right-wing bullshit. So, Quez, I need you to do me a favor. You know, we're going to get this show started. You already know what we do.
Hey, how you lead into some of y'all was talking right wing bullshit and Quez? I need you to do me a favor. Them don't go together. You know what I'm saying?
No, I did not say
like
you guilty. I did not say you guilty conscience.
Those statements came together. You know what I'm saying?
I was not speaking about you, guilty conscience. I'm speaking about the people who are coming at us on YouTube. I'm speaking to some of your fans, the freaky ass niggas on there. I'm speaking to the folks, you know. I wasn't talking about you specifically, you know.
No, I'm just saying the way they came together. I don't know. You probably thought about that all day. I didn't like that.
Not you. Not like you say you didn't.
No, go ahead. What? Hey, third for real though. What's your word for today, man?
All right, your third word for today is misinformation. You niggas, some of you niggas out there are regurgitating and spewing misinformation and presenting it as factual, and it's just essentially either your opinion or you're going off what you hear somebody else say, and you're believing it to be true without actually researching. You're proving a lot of these right-wing liberals right by saying, hey, black people don't sit up there and read. They just get what they told. And some of you guys are falling right into that plan. But the definition of misinformation is false, inaccurate information, especially that which is deliberately intended to deceive. The example, nuclear matters are often entangled in a web of secrecy and misinformation. And that's what a lot of y'all were doing out there today. So thanks to you guys, we're going to run it back. We're going to talk about Kamala. So, you know, especially for those within our community, we're going to talk about some of the stuff that's been spewed. And then because of that, we're going to talk about, is there prejudice amongst biracial people? Because that was been spewed. And we're just going to just break it down. And if you have anything to say, mind you, we can agree to disagree peacefully. So if you're in Facebook, hit the link. You know, like I said, make sure you got good Wi-Fi. Make sure you ain't doing no other shit in the background. But make sure you come on through. And if you're on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, drop your 3 cent at gmail.com with the number 3. And I'll send you the link. And we can come on, we can talk about it. Yeah?
Let's get it.
Let's freaking go. So
you ready today? Look, I like well-educated third. You know if I didn't do nothing else but inspire you to research, man, I did my goddamn job.
That was not. I'm not talking about you.
I know you're not talking about me. I'm saying in general. I wasn't talking about you. I'm
okay. I'm about to say because the thing is, you're not one of those types. You're not one of those types. You know what I'm saying? Like you're actually going to research, and you essentially say you only care about the policies. But so people's president on here, ex-president Donald J. Trump, which again, some of you niggas, I did some research, and I don't know why some of you niggas is really going for him. I really know. But Donald J. Trump was on a national black something for journalists, whatever, and he made this comment right here. We're just going to just run it back.
On the ticket because she is a black woman.
Well, I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe that
I think somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a
Man, Quest ran. He ran already. God damn. That boy quick.
Trump is evil. He loves misinformation.
Yes.
Misinformation, he loves divisiveness.
Again. Black
Hey,
is
that
not
boy,
a
man.
country. It is not a country. Like, why are we saying you're Indian heritage?
Shit.
You're not black. Black is not
Hey,
a
this
country.
the one.
Like, it's
Sorry,
just.
go ahead, Adoration.
Oh, thank you. Take it. I'll take it. No, black
All right,
is not
continue.
Black is not a country. It's so annoying. It's not a country. Okay, just continue on because I can't.
Thomas Davis. So what does he write about? Because again, I don't know. I don't know that to be true at all.
Not at all.
That's just more misinformation.
All right. So thanks to Charlemagne the God.
Oh man, come on now.
You think things you can need to know?
Better source. Let me say this before you start, because sources matter, sir. I'm not saying that.
Apparently not.
Apparently not, Quest.
No. I'm listen.
Last week.
Listen, I'm
information
saying
was all fake and false.
Listen, when you are combating a machine, your sources matter, right? It's so easy, and I'm not talking for me. I'm just because I be on the grassroots level. Charlemagne the God is not a reliable source that people in the grassroots are going to listen to because he's too wishy-washy. I'm just saying. So when you bring up it, instead of the information being accurate and focusing on the information that's there,
so
that may be the truth, people are going to start to attack and say, ain't nobody listening to Charlemagne the God.
Okay, so
I'm just saying.
This is something that he reposted. All right. So things that you niggas need to know before going to vote. Number one, Trump did not give you $1,200. The stimulus checks distributed in the United States during COVID-19 pandemic were authorized by legislation passed by Congress and signed into law by then President Donald Trump. While President Trump signed the legislation into law, it was Congress that drafted, debated, and passed these bills, making the checks a result of legislative action and executive approval rather than unliterated action by the president.
Unilateral, sir. Unilateral action by the president, and that's usually how this works.
Oh, Quez.
I'm just saying.
Let's go.
I agree with this point though, because there's a lot of niggas saying we want Trump because he gave us check. I didn't get no check, so it didn't matter to me.
I wonder why you didn't get one.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Because I was on child support, sir. And,
okay, I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so number two, Kamala Harris is in fact black. Honestly, I'm not even sure why this matters to so many of you. Kamala Harris identifies as black. She is of mixed heritage with a mother from India and a father from Jamaica. Her father, Donald Harris, is of Afro-Jamaican descent, which contributes to her black identity. Additionally, she has often spoken about her pride in her diverse heritage and how often it shaped her identity and perspectives. So, for those, look, this is literally her father, saying, I've seen, because of you guys, you niggas, I've actually seen pictures of her family in Jamaica, because I've heard some of you niggas actually spewing out saying that, no, her father's Hindu, he's Indian, he's Caucasian. Well, I think his
y'all
father.
got the same forehead. You know what I'm saying?
So you know what I'm saying? So I see her family in Jamaica. So I don't know what some of y'all are talking about. And again, it's just misinformation. But to the next point. Number 3, does your vote matter? Yes, your vote does matter. The popular vote influences the U.S. Electoral College by determining the winner in each state. Most states use a winner-take-all system where the candidate with the most votes gets all the state's electoral votes. This makes the overall popular vote important, but not divisive, as the Electoral College decides presidency. Candidates focus on swing states to secure the necessary 270 electoral votes to win.
Candidates focus on swing states. So if you don't live in a swing state, if you live in a state like California, New York, your vote is irrelevant because y'all going blue regardless.
Not true. Not true. You gotta vote. You gotta vote for your local congressman. You gotta vote for the Senate. You gotta vote for president's not the only one on the ticket.
Which y'all don't do. You know what I'm saying? That was my whole point. Y'all
That's
don't
the
do
problem. You gotta vote.
Y'all don't do none of that. So you going blue regardless in states that are not swing states.
And Georgia was red for a while, but now it's changing. It's a toss-up state. So
yeah, because I'm out here.
Nah, because a lot of people are going out and voting. And Stacey Abrams.
Because I'm out here. I know.
It's not
boots on the ground.
So it's not just don't vote, it's get out and vote.
Right. All right. So next slide. Number 4. Kamala Harris did not lock up thousands of black men. During Harris's tenure as California's Attorney General from 2011 to 2017, over 1,900 people were admitted to state prisons for marijuana or hashish. Is I saying that right? Hashish related charges?
I don't know. I don't smoke. I don't know what they call it.
Many cases in California are prosecuted by district attorneys in individual counties, not attorney generals. Kamala Harris was the district attorney for San Francisco from 2004 to 2011. And during her tenure, she only sentenced 45 people total, not just black people, to state prison for marijuana-related, it has it right all in my, I cannot see. Not related, what does it say, Quez?
Marijuana-related charges, according to Mercury News.
Okay, yeah, because the slide thing is all up in the way. I can't see the rest.
No, I got you.
All right. Number 5, Agenda 47 is not for your black ass. Trump's Agenda 47 poses serious risks to black and minority communities. It plans to cut funding for schools teaching critical race theory, which, again, this is really essential. We talk about critical race theory.
Wow.
And eliminate diversity programs, reducing support for students of color. The agenda aims to implement more aggressive policy measures, including the reintroduction of stop and frisk practices, which disproportionately target black and minority individuals. It also proposes the death penalty for drug dealers and grants immunity to police officers, potentially increasing racial injustice and police violence, which, again, we're going to talk about the Sonia Massey thing. Additionally, it seeks to shut down the Department of Education, further undermining educational equity. These measures will reinforce systematic racism, exacerbate
disparities,
and hinder progress.
This will exacerbate disparities and hinder progress towards justice and equity in these communities.
Sorry, I'm not illiterate, y'all.
I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got you, brother. This ain't that. What else we got?
Also, the job of the vice president. The vice president is expected to participate when there is a tie vote, cannot be from the same state as the president, traditionally chosen by presidential nominees to balance the ticket both by location and politically ideology. 8 vice presidents have become president because of the death of a president.
Why is that important?
Because Because again, some of you niggas will say, "Oh, she didn't do anything with the vice president.
Exactly.
She didn't do this, and she didn't do this." Right. So it's just one of those things. You know what I'm saying? So again,
the vice president's a placeholder. It's not necessarily a office of that you're going to do a lot of things other than what the president wants you to do and push out their agendas.
But listen, we can't scapegoat. Cause listen, Mike Pence was up there getting drugged. You know what I'm saying? When he was running under Trump as vice
because
president.
Trump is evil.
No, Mike Pence was not evil. Mike Pence didn't do a goddamn thing but be
Trump
weird. But
evil.
I'm just saying, as vice president, y'all ran that man through the mud. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ran him through the mud. And then when it came to this presidency, we didn't see Kamala at all, ever.
Well, Trump tried to haggle.
And the one tie-breaking vote she decided on raised inflation on individuals like you and me. That's what she voted for. I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm not here to argue about who's right or who's wrong. I'm just stating the facts.
And what was the tie-breaking vote that she did that raised inflation?
She didn't decide to raise inflation when she voted when Congress was tied in a unilateral decision. That was the only vote she made.
No, she made several votes that were tied.
No, not tie-breaking votes. No, she didn't.
Yes,
she made
several tie-breaking votes.
One very important. The rest of them didn't matter because none of us knew about them and didn't concern us.
Anytime the vice president proceeds over the Senate to break the tie, it's always on C-SPAN. So if you want and you're politically engaged and you want to follow and watch it, you can. But
I know that. I'm talking about for the masses, Melvin.
I'm letting people.
Sir.
I'm not talking directly to you.
Yeah,
I
know, but I'm just saying
as well. Yeah, I know. I'm not worried about. I know you know what you're talking about, but I'm saying for the policies that increased inflation, most of inflation is just corporate greed. It's there. You can't have record profits and then raise prices and then have buyback shares without saying and then blame it on inflation. It's corporate greed. It's Lockheed greed. It's Walmart not paying enough people. It's McDonald's especially. So it has nothing to do with the presidency or the vice presidency. That's capitalism altogether.
Word.
I always agree.
I
always say capitalism and democracy can't live in the same house. That's what I always say.
What are you holding up? We can't see you. Adoration.
Vice President Kamala Harris has cast 33 tie-breaking votes in the Senate. I'm just saying, and I said this earlier.
What are they? Adoration. That's what I'm saying.
You gotta let her speak first.
The point matter that I'm making, Quiz, is you gotta stop just saying stuff. I said that about you last week. You just you
said it about me last week because you like black girl pride, but you don't know what Kamala's policies are.
That's another thing.
I know what listen.
Hold on, we gotta let each other finish.
Just because you don't like black girl pride doesn't mean you have to just lie out of the skin all the time.
Whoa.
Get a phone and look it up at least.
All right, Adoration, let him rebut.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, finish your statement. Because we finna get to the nitty-gritty on this today.
I was glad to hear a third word today because I literally said that before the podcast. I'm like, what are we doing? It's just like
what are we doing, Adoration?
Hold on, I got one more slide.
Listen, simple question. What is Kamala's top priority policy? Please give me one.
Okay.
Because I seen a whole bunch of black girl pride get excited. Listen, I let you get it out. I seen a whole bunch of black girl pride get excited about Megan Thee Stallion, and I love Megan Thee Stallion. Come on, a presidential, you know what I'm saying, address to the nation, twerking with mini skirts and halter tops, shaking ass, and then you got Quavo up here in a sequin shirt with his nipples out, and we're talking about what black girl magic is, and that's how she feels about y'all. She thought it was more important to have a fucking concert than to address y'all with real policies to address Donald Trump. That's my argument with her.
Okay.
My argument is, ma'am, if you feel like Donald Trump is a threat to the nation, we shouldn't be having fucking concerts. We should be talking about policies that are going to address the American people that are really important. I can watch Meg Thee Stallion on YouTube all day twerk. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I fucking want to. I don't want to see that at a presidential, vice presidential, or any type of political rally. I don't want to see that. I'm sorry if I feel that way.
Before you guys start, before you guys,
crazy
Generation and Melvin. Before you guys start, I have one more slide. I was really proud because I did this shit today. You know, like so. Donald Trump says criminal for Kamala. So I guess essentially Donald Trump is endorsing Kamala Harris because that nigga is a criminal.
Right? Like what's that?
Yeah, she's trying to make it so you can vote, Donald.
Oh shit!
You and your people, you and your January 6 people. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, adoration. Like we get emotional as Black people when it comes to voting, and the whole entire time, even when I spoke last week, I've been policy based. I don't know what policy she has for my community. It doesn't have anything to do with. I love Black women. My mama Black. My daughters is Black. My wife is Black. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit about none of that when it comes to my people suffering in the streets. But I'm not going to vote for Kamala because she's Black and she's just been vice president for 3.5 years and didn't do shit for me. And then she's been in Senate for another 10 years, didn't do shit for me. I need to know exactly what you're going to do to help the situation that me and my family are living in, because we don't live at the White House. We live in America where inflation is running rampant. It's $6-7 for a carton of eggs. Gas is sky high. I need to know what you're going to do to fix these issues. I don't care about you being Black. I don't care if you cook tandoori chicken. I don't give a shit if you cook collard greens in the bathtub. I need to know what policies you're going to bring to the table that are going to affect the community realistically, because I see thousands of immigrants flooding cities like New York, California, and other cities, and they're getting instant benefits. Meanwhile, I got to struggle to pay my light bill and pay my rent, and y'all say y'all don't got shit for me. But as soon as these people got over here, they get all the help they need.
But that is not that's not
real
the
quick,
that's
can I
not
say
the
something?
problem. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead,
I
Adoration.
just want to say, it's be short. I'm not going to take 10 minutes. I'm not going to take 10 minutes. Listen, the point that I made today, and this is the thing, I'm not talking about going on a tangent about what you think. All right, we understand that you have this point of view. I got that point of view, and I understand that. I agree. What I'm saying to you is that while you don't care about Black women shaking and this, that, and this, what I'm saying to you, I'm not addressing that stuff. I'm saying to you, listen, you don't have to sit on the podcast and make false statements just to make your point sound better. You just said she made one thing. Wait, Melvin was clear. He was like, no, she made a lot more. And you were like, no, she didn't. She only made one. So I looked it up. And what I'm saying is, just because that's your point of view, it doesn't mean you have to make false accusations and false facts. You want to know her policies, right? So you can look up her policies. But you don't have to say she only made one tie vote. You don't have to say that because that's a lie. And you did that a lot last week. I didn't say. As you were saying it, I was looking it up, and it was false. What
was I saying that was false, Adoration?
You can go back to the thing, and you can look at the thing.
No, you can tell me because you're calling me a liar, and I'm trying to take that personal without getting emotional. But today, me and Melvin agreed. I said she made one deciding vote that was important. I didn't say she didn't make the other 30 plus. Me and Melvin have an understanding because we're talking from a place that we have.
We're talking on a public platform.
I understand, but I have to speak for the people who don't have a voice up here. You guys are pretty much in alignment, right? You, Melvin, and Third are pretty much in alignment. So I have to be the voice of the people. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying in terms of your theology about this situation.
That's
you guys pretty much you guys' talking points. Listen, from you guys' talking points, you guys pretty much align, right? And I'm cool with that. I'm not saying that you guys are wrong. I'm indifferent to each point of view, right? Because I'm always here for the truth. But my job in this environment is to create a talking platform for the people who are not on this stage, right? And I listen. I'm listening to people who are not on this stage. There's not a lot of us, It's really just me.
I think what is getting missed is I agree with, I get both your guys' perspectives. Adoration is saying, Quiz, if you're gonna say something, you gotta be accurate. Although you're saying things and it's like not, it's hyperbole, you're just saying it to say it, and you're not wrong in saying it. But she's saying if you're gonna say it, if you're gonna say, oh, it was only 2 but it was 15, then you have to acknowledge the other one. And what Quez is saying, what really mattered to him was 1 vote. Everything else didn't matter because that wasn't pertaining to him and his family situation. So none of that other shit mattered. It was solely about what was pertaining to him and what his beliefs and what supports his family and people like him. And so that you guys are both saying different things, and it's not that Quez is lying, and it's not that Adoration
You're right
is wrong.
on the same path.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying. And when you guys address me with the stats, I always agree with you. Do I not?
Yes.
When somebody says, "Well, it was actually this," and I say, "Yes, you're correct." You know what I'm saying? I never debate y'all on factual information. I just once again, like Melvin says, I give you the hyperbole to think about people that are in a community that I've experienced and came from, and what they're talking about.
No doubt. I
have
hear you.
to do that.
So Quest, I got to interject because I hear you. And again, you kind of misrepresented me a little bit right now. Yes, am I going to vote for Kamala? For sure. Do I agree with everything that she's saying or whatever? No. Do you have some points? Yes, because again, I need to see some policies. There's some things about her that I definitely question. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing I didn't like that she'd actually said was that when it came to reparations, she said, no, I'm not just going to just give things for Black people. I didn't like that. I also need to hear what she has to say about qualified immunity. Like right now, those are my key issues. And I think individually, as far as when you're going out to vote or where you're looking for a candidate, whether it's the presidential, whether it's your local, whatever, you got to look for someone who's going to align with more so your thoughts. And I need her to be more specific and more precise on what she stands on. And again, like she said some stuff, you know, this is cool, you know what I'm saying? But I need to hear the non-political Kamala. I need to hear where you actually, how you feel, so I can relate to you. Because right now, what you're doing is I can't really necessarily relate because you're coming from a political standpoint. You're out there kissing babies and out there, you know, with the gay, the LGBTQs, and hey, pride. Then you're gonna come over here next week, be with the Black folks. Yeah, righteous folks, righteous brother. Then you're gonna come over here, be with the South Asian folks. Yeah. I mean, it's just a political thing. I need to see where you stand on some of these policies.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that take at all.
Well, thank you too.
Not in the least. Not even in the least about Kamala
Why
Harris
not?
has been the most. She's been the most consistent on what she stood for: Affordable Care Act, how she feels for women's rights and reproductive freedoms, how she feels for policing in the community.
No, I hear you. So Melvin, hold on, real quick. I have to interject a little bit.
But you're not going to get to know the candidate unless you have town halls. And as vice president, you're not the main character. You're not going to have a town hall. The town halls are only for the president. Now she's going to have her own debate. She might have possibly 2 debates. Now she's going out there.
I can't wait.
And you're getting. And you get to, like she continuously said, wait till there's a split screen and you hear my policies and Donald Trump. She said, don't necessarily vote for me right now. Wait till you hear my policies and Donald Trump's, period.
Melvin,
and
can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
If you were in the same position, right? Let's say you were vice president for the past 3.5 years. Nobody really knows what you're capable of doing, because I'm gonna put it in that perspective, right? Nobody knows what you're capable of doing because you're not the president, right? You may have been behind the scenes looking at Joe Biden. There's somebody back there running that show. You know what I'm saying? Because bro was lost. But anyway, you know what I mean? If you had 90 days before an election, we're talking literally 3 months, what would be the first thing you did as vice president, the current sitting vice president, to galvanize people to vote for you compared to the incumbent who's coming from the Republican Party? What would you do in that predicament with 90 days to go?
I would go do tons of campaigning across the nation, which she's doing. I would be talking, and it's a delicate situation because we have a president, and she can't overstep on his current policies because he's still the president to January. So she can't be like, fuck Joe Biden and everything he stands for.
Bullshit. That's what I would have said day one. Fuck that
but
nigga.
She can't because he's still the commander. He's still the commander.
He ain't gonna remember no way. He ain't gonna remember I said that shit.
Hey, hold on a second, y'all. Hey, Thomas, Cheryl, you guys are saying some stuff. Facebook right now is tripping. They're not showing the comments on our end. So, Thomas, if I were you, I would go to YouTube, type in King 3RDD, or type in drop your 3 cents, and the live should come up. So therefore, I can put your comments on the stage.
Yeah, because Facebook ain't putting up none of y'all comments. I'm seeing.
Yeah, I see Cheryl, I see Greg. You know, I'm gonna try to read. From my phone, but you know, so I'm still trying to manage and do a show too. So,
so she's only had 90 days. We still have a president. The way he left is unprecedented. Well, not unprecedented. It's historic. Lyndon B. Johnson said the same thing. Not seeking the nomination of the party. Yada yada yada. But it rarely happens like that.
Man, what the
No, this person says Black Lives MAGA.
MAGA.
Them don't even go together.
MAGA.
What are you doing?
You said you were speaking for the people who needed it.
Yeah, but
So hold on. Adoration, I can't let you attack Quez. Again, I may joke with him and say that he's a Trumper and Trump is an uncle, but at the end of the day, he is not. He is no candidate. He stands with no affiliation. He is strictly policy. Now, I don't agree with him with saying like, well, I'm gonna go vote for Trump or I'm not gonna vote. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't necessarily agree with that, but he's never been like a MAGA dude at all. At all.
Yeah.
So we're talking about misinformation.
Talking
about misinformation, that's misinformation.
I didn't say it.
None of that bothers me. You know what I'm saying? I got thick skin. You know what I mean? So I can take all of it with a grain of salt.
All I'm saying, Quez, I agree with you. All I'm saying is say facts. If you're gonna state it like a fact, say a fact.
Well, you know what I'm gonna say to you, Adoration. Mm-hmm. In 7 days, because 7 days was our last podcast. If you had an issue or you felt like I was lying about something, I'm always available. My inbox is open. My inbox is open.
See the comments.
Adoration, you have direct access to me, so I really don't.
Quez, hey, I'm not gonna take.
If you felt the way
into your inbox,
but listen, I talk to Third consistently. You know what I'm saying? Like when he has a problem with something, I say, we can sit down and discuss it.
It's not like that.
But Melvin, we talk via the chat. You know what I'm saying? And I can see his point of views and I respond. They know my personality. You know what I mean? You may not know it as much, but I mean, at the end of the day, I say what I say because it has a purpose. This still is a production, and I have to galvanize the people to not only watch the information, but I have to galvanize these people to think for themselves and go and do research.
But that's
the thing. If you feel like I'm lying, what did you do this week, Adoration? You went up and looked up a whole bunch of facts, didn't you?
No, actually, I only looked it up on the podcast.
You look for the podcast.
So Aaron Broker says. Aaron Roca says black men are going red in 2024. You know, which is true in Georgia from what I hear. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of black entrepreneurs who are going red, which I don't agree with. And then Aaron Roca says, just subscribe, great show. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Make sure you tell people, hit the share button. You know, we salute you. Thank you. But I don't, fuck all that MAGA shit, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can agree to disagree. I'm telling you right now, fuck all that MAGA shit. You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
We hear it all the time that black men are going red. But I'm like, if you got 85, if you got an 85 on the test, you'd be like, man, I did really good. If you get 10, 15, you're going to be like, I did shit. And that's what Trump is getting, 10 to 15. So how are we saying black men are going red when he's only winning 10 to 15? And we're a diverse, it's not like it's not like our grandparents' parties.
We're not all voting exactly the same. So
exactly. So if you're missing 85 out of 100, you're doing shit. That's period. You're not speaking to the masses. You're just barely scratching the surface. So let's not even pretend like black men are going red.
Well,
That's
for
just
the people like Aaron, not to call you out by name, but just people in general who look at this. My position has always been both of these parties don't give a shit, and the benign neglect rule has run rampant for the past 14 elections. Right? They show up, they offer you some cornbread muffins and a piece of fried chicken and a bottle of water while you wait in line to vote because your voting stations are overcrowded because they really don't want you to stay around and do it anyway. They make it damn near impossible for people who work a regular 9 to 5 to vote if your job don't let you off in ample enough time to fight traffic to get there. Like these are things that I've always agreed with, Republican or Democrat. But at the end of the day, I am not loyal to either one of these parties. America is for sale. You know what I'm saying? And it always has been. And if you want my vote, you got to buy me too. Everybody else got bought. You know what I'm saying? We came up with an anti-Asian hate crime bill. We came up with an anti-Semitism bill. You know what I'm saying? People been getting swinging from trees that look like me since the inception of this country, and we still got to have a committee to fucking discuss it. That's my problem. That's always been my problem.
But why? Hold up real quick. Melvin, hold that thought real quick.
All right.
For those that want to, so people are on Facebook. I love it, but we can't see the comments. We can't put them on the screen like we normally do. So if you want, just go to YouTube again, King 3RDD, or go in your search bar, put drop your 3 cent. It'll pop up. I'm getting ready to switch one of my locations to the actual drop your 3 cent page too. But King 3RDD on YouTube, so I can put your comments up on the screen. I heard myself echo. Aaron says Trump only needs 20% to win, plus many black voters who normally vote blue say that they're sitting out.
Okay, to comment what Aaron said, if you only need 20%, does that really mean he's speaking to the people? He's doing the bare minimum to try to win. But if you're getting 20%, you're fucking failing. So you're going to be proud at 20%? So what about the other 80% that feel you shit on them?
Aaron says it's not about being loyal to a party. It's about accepting, take the red party to make more sense about. Sorry.
Out of control.
Quest says background MAGA. Me
really, bro.
So here's the thing. So there are some things I want to kind of backtrack a little bit. So yes,
go ahead, bro.
Quest is speaking for a lot of the community or a lot of the people out there, saying that think like him or that think alike. But again, the one thing that I will say is that some of you niggas are misrepresenting and putting out misinformation. Again, if you don't necessarily fit in the $400,000 bracket, why the fuck are you voting MAGA? Because it's not going to benefit you. Number one. Number two, saying you're talking about all this shit. We're being hypocritical a bit. You talk about race, and Kamala Harris, but you're regurgitating shit that essentially a white supremacist, because that's essentially what Trump is. He's a white supremacist. Let's not knock the fact that his dad was actually arrested at the Ku Klux Klan rally in New York in 1927. And these are facts. But again, you talk about black, but then you're getting behind a person who, again, Trump, who was sued for discriminating against renting to black tenants. So these are not stuff that I'm regurgitating or just pulling out my ass. These are facts. But yet still you want to talk about pro-black. It's hypocritical because essentially you're letting a white man stir you and direct you and divide you into a sense of, okay, this is pride. So again, then you want to put out the thing that you attack a person of color, not Quez, because Quez didn't do this. You wanted to say that, hey, Kamala is she's Indian, she's Hindu, and she never talk about being black. But again, I got video that shows otherwise. You know what I'm saying? So again, there's a lot of shit that you guys are are out there regurgitating from the right-wing media, especially from right-wing extremists, you know what I'm saying, which essentially are white supremacist groups. And then you guys sit up there and bring it back to the black community. What good are you doing?
But if you look at it, it's all been bullshit from the beginning. Because for the longest time, everybody said, "Oh, Trump, Biden doesn't know who he is. Biden's old. Biden has cognitive decline." And now nobody wants to talk about the 78-year-old cognitive decline person that is a
this is why we got to stand
that
still.
might be sentenced before his presidency. Nobody wants to talk about any of that.
Your internet is 85. Sir.
This is why we got to stand still next to Wi-Fi.
Your internet is 85 years old, and it's on its way out too.
So one of the misrepresentations that one of the things that was put out was Kamala was only speaking about black issues when she became vice president. But I got some from 2006.
He cares about the fact that we've got a bunch of young black and brown men in prison. That argument is not working. What I suggest we do as African Americans is own this issue in law enforcement and then define it in the way that works for us. Because it is a myth to say that African Americans don't want law enforcement. We do. We want our grandmothers to be able to walk to church and be safe. We want our babies to be able to walk to the park and be safe. What we don't want is racial profiling. What we don't want is excessive force.
That's right.
What we don't want is to have our civil liberties and civil rights be stripped. But we do want law enforcement. So let's define it in the way that works for us by saying, I want community policing. I want a police department that works in my neighborhood and in my community that reflects the mores and the culture and respects my grandmother, again, when they walk in to talk to her. I want a system of accountability in the criminal justice system that says law enforcement needs to own crime prevention as much as it talks about long sentences. Because nationally, only 18% of serious crime results in an arrest. So if I, as law enforcement, with my responsibility to keep you safe, only talk about keeping you safe by sending people to prison for a long time, I'm necessarily going to fall short because the vast majority of that crime's not even hitting my system. So if I'm going to keep my promise to you to keep you safe, I better talk with you about what I'm doing in terms of crime.
That is
Girl,
wonderful.
So,
when was that clip from?
2006.
Oh,
So
okay.
Aaron Roku says, hold on a sec, Quest. Aaron Roku says, white and black people work amazing together. The Democrats want to make fake racial tension and Trump wants to unite the country. Aaron, I got map love for you, but that's bullshit.
I don't even know why you put that up there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's a lie.
Aaron,
and
to
answer your question, Quest, to answer your question, it was the recidivism. She started a second chance program for a lot of people that went to jail for weed. She allowed people to get their high school diplomas, get degrees. That was the second chance program that she initiated with the blessing of the governor. And
Melvin,
so, yeah.
Can I be honest with you?
Go for it.
People have been getting their GEDs and degree programs in prison the entire time they've been in prison. Probably
not
since
all states.
89, sir. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
It's, some states, yes. Some
go
states,
ahead. Let me check this.
They take away. Some states they take away your weights. Some states you can't go to online classes. Some states you can't go to classes or have woodworking or sign up to be a firefighter and have any work experience. It's okay. You're a felon. You're done, and then you can't get any benefits. You can't get anything. You're stuck, and then the cycle continues. So it's not every state, but a majority of states don't allow it.
Right. So for Aaron, I do have a clip, before we jump into the next topic, because this is going to tie into Kamala and tie into the next thing. But here goes a clip of what Trump is.
There was a project 2017 that got no attention. And what they did is they implemented nearly 60% of those policies in 2017. And we're dealing with those ramifications right now. We can talk about 2016 when we were Many folks were unsure about what they were going to do, and so many people didn't even exercise their right to vote. Alfonso and Ebony, they thought, well, one candidate who was the most qualified candidate in our nation's history by the name of Secretary Clinton was on the ballot, but her emails. And then another guy who people thought, oh, he would never win. Well, because people stayed home, because people played games in this binary system and voted third party, we ended up with a Donald Trump presidency, and he was able to appoint not one, not two, but 3 Supreme Court justices who are overturning decades of precedent. Roe v. Wade was overturned on my birthday, June 24th, 2022, worst president I ever received. So I'll never forget the day.